Here we have an iPad 10.5 that came in for repair. I'm reading the ticket. Let's see what the customer wrote. I have an iPad Pro 10.5 that restarts when I shake it or put it down. Weird, right? When the customer shakes the iPad or put it down, it restarts. Let's take a look and see what's going on. We already have the screen disassembled and we have the shield removed also, so we can look at the components. And let's take a quick look at the board, quick visual inspection, just to see if there's anything obvious with the board. And the board looks excellent. Let's check the inductors, because inductors can cause issues like that. And specifically, iPad Pro 10.5 has issues with loose or broken inductors, specifically. I have not seen an issue with inductors on any other tablet, but this very same model, iPad Pro 10.5. So right now, those inductors, they look good. I do not see anything loose. I do not see anything broken. What is this? Let's measure the resistance. And I'm reading 44 kilo ohms. That's not good. Not good. Let's continue with the inspection. We're gonna replace this component. And we do not know if the chip right next to it is affected or not. I never had to change that chip before. And it's actually weird to see a blown inductor. We're gonna look at more inductors on the board. Starting from here. And look at this. Look at this. Wow. What about this one? You know what? Let's remove this. Inductors just go loose or they fall off. And the first time I discovered this, I found an inductor like this. So I thought to myself, this tablet was never opened before. How come we have a missing component here? And the reason I knew we had a missing component is because the legs are still stuck on the pads. Look, the leg is still here. That's not solder. That's a leg. That's a broken leg. So that's how I discovered that inductors break off on this model tablet. You cannot go online and search this information. This one looks good. And look at this. Look at this one. Wow. You see how the leg breaks down here? Look at this. I can grab that leg. Remove it. And this one is a rectangular inductor. Unlike some of the inductors on the board, they are square, like this one here. That's a rectangular one. And you can tell how much heat those inductors may have suffered. Okay, so we're gonna replace two inductors here, and we're gonna replace this one here, and hope for the best. We're gonna let the tablet run for like 15-20 minutes. We're gonna shake it. We're gonna smack it down on the bench. We're gonna throw it from a third floor building and see if it restarts. We have to properly test the tablet. We cannot just turn it on and keep it on for 15 minutes. We have to put it under a stress test. So let's start with this one. And now we're gonna find out that the inductor fused itself to the board. No. That's one. And we already removed the other two, but the legs are still on the board. But I'm not gonna use a hot air station for that. How about we use hot tweezers? Let's see. Can we do it with just hot tweezers? Is it possible? Yes. What about this one? And what about this one? That's a big one. We're gonna have to use hot air because that's a big pin or side leg. I do not want to apply a lot of solder here because what's going to happen is when you solder that inductor, solder is going to squeeze on the sides and it's going to end up bridging with the components nearby. So I would rather keep unleaded solder on the board and not having to apply leaded solder in this area where we may spill solder and bridge other components on the board. But we have a lot of room here, so it's okay if we did it here. And I do feel like we have a bit more than we need. Maybe we can remove some of that solder. Like this. And like this. That's enough. Now the fun part. The fun part is to locate a similar tablet that we can use. And I have a bucket of 6 million tablets here. And all we have to do is find one. And look at what I'm looking at. We use this down to the bones. Same here. I do not know why we still keep this stuff. I'm gonna have to go over all the tablets that we have and just let go of those cases. So here we have a 10.5 and that's a 10.5 also. Let's work with those and see if we can get what we need from either one. And it looks like I already used a lot of inductors from this one. And I think I used every single inductor on this one. Yeah. And if you look here, we used every single inductor on this board and not even a single inductor left except for the square ones that I do not need. Remember I said the rectangular ones. Now we can grab one of those inductors. They look good and we're gonna solder it on the customer's board. When I say they look good, I mean they're solid, their legs are not broken, and inductors usually do not fail unless something happens to them like the one that we removed or liquid damage, but usually inductors do not go bad. But now I need a rectangular inductor. Where do we get it from? And look, I used a lot of the rectangular ones here. We can use this one to replace the blown one that we took off. Let's do it. Let's take it one step at a time. But first we have to check to make sure this inductor is good. It's not loose. Some people ask, what if I do not have a donor board? You're on your own, good luck. If you don't have it, then you have to order the parts and wait. I hate ordering parts. I like to have easy access to all parts, but that only comes with time. What parts should I stock in the shop? It depends. You need to look and see what parts do you use the most. You do not just go and buy everything. After some time, you will discover a pattern on what parts are needed the most, and that's what you stock. But it's crazy to just go and stock everything and then sit and wait for a customer to come in. That's crazy. A common mistake most people going into business is they rent a shop and then they spend so much money on decorating the shop. I want the best entrance, the best carpet. I want a fancy sign, chairs for customers, a nice bench, the best, I don't know, TV for the customers. Why? Why are you going in and spending $20, $30, $40,000 to make the shop look good? The shop looking good is not gonna do you any good. You start with a basic shop. I mean, look at the entrance of our shop, very basic. Actually, I have a lot of boxes in the entrance for shipping. I do not have room inside to put those boxes, and they are a lot, so I put them on the front. People come inside, sometimes they have to go over the boxes in order to reach the bench. But you do not spend a lot of money when you open a business. What good is it if you have a fancy shop and you do not have any customers? Actually, some customers do not like to go into fancy shops. They think that you are expensive. So that's a common mistake a lot of business owners make, where they go in, they go all in. They open a shop and they spend all their money making the shop look nice, but they have no customers. That's not gonna do the business owner no good. That's reality. That's how people think. That's why sometimes it's good to take advice, but do not take advice from somebody who doesn't have a business. What do you think? He's not gonna be able to help you. Take an advice from somebody in business if you are opening a business. Take an advice from a mechanic if you are trying to fix your car. But do not go to a person selling vegetables and ask him, how do I fix my car, if he doesn't have any experience. Just like I said in the previous video, the brain is a powerful tool if you know how to use it. I understand that not everybody is sharp in the way they think. They do not plan, no wisdom. It's okay. But it can be learned. You learn as you fall and get back up. You fall, you get back up. You fall, you get back up. At some point you're gonna learn. I should not be doing this no more. I should not listen to that person anymore. One inductor soldered and 2 more to go. Let's remove this inductor. So this one is done, and you can see what I mean when I said that solder will squeeze out. Now I did not push down on the inductor, because if I did, then solder will squeeze out, and that's why I did not apply solder here, because as soon as you squeeze, solder is gonna squeeze out and short a lot of the nearby components. We are looking for this one and make sure this one is solid. Yes. We do not want to grab an inductor that has loose legs. But like I said, this problem is only on iPad Pros 10.5. At least as far as I know. I have not done any other iPad with that inductor issue, other than the 10.5. I do not want to squeeze too much, but I want to reflow it down in place. Right now we still have unleaded solder on those pads, and that's why nothing squeezed out. We're done. I'm going to give this to Big Boss to reassemble and test, and hope for the best. I just need your suggestion on how to test this. Should we just tap it on the bench, throw it out, a hammer? Let me know. We want to do the job properly. All right, I'm back, and the tablet, it's been running for, you cannot see, 42 minutes. You cannot see. Okay. Let me go under the microscope. The tablet has been running for 42 minutes and 2 seconds. So we're gonna assume the tablet is fixed. We have a spudger. We did not seal the screen in case it restarts. Then I'll need to check it again. But if I remove the spudger and I go like this, I do not want to break it. I felt something thick. Okay, good. I did not break it. So, all right, they just went to sleep right there. 43 minutes and 36 seconds. So the tablet is fixed. And that's it. We're going to end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.